Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, though. We stay ready. That way we don't gotta get ready.
Following the official signing of their fight agreement, Terence Crawford recently sent Canelo Alvarez his first message. Canelo signed a multi-fight deal that could see him box Crawford in September Bayonne in Las Vegas, after visiting Saudi Arabia in May. The agreement covers 4 fights, beginning in Saudi Arabia in May, and possibly culminating in the much-anticipated September clash against Crawford in Las Vegas. "Don't mess with the lion," warned Alal Sheikh, the president of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, in a social media post. Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight against Crawford in September, and 2 more fights in 26. Alvarez said, "Let's go, brother," at a boxing event. Canelo appeared to be quite interested in meeting Paul, a boxer and social media celebrity.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen 3 more years from now.
So I'm
going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his.
It was later disclosed that talks to have Canelo fight Paul in May in Las Vegas had progressed to a point before being shelved, which further fed that anticipation when he posted aside "in every fight I've been in." MVP promotions. It's depressing to see how things transpired at MVP, where we pride ourselves on integrity, transparency, and an unwavering respect for the sport, its athletes, and the fervent supporters who make it all possible. Paul's company issued a statement announcing that MVP was involved in advanced negotiations for a historic matchup between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez, scheduled for Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas. The statement further disclosed that we are still in active talks with a number of well-known opponents and are dedicated to putting on the largest bouts and most thrilling events, as well as collaborating with partners who share our values and dedication to boxing and its fighters. Jake Paul and MVP aren't going anywhere, so we'll keep up our disruption of boxing on our terms. Paul took to social media to express his annoyance. "When all of your events fail and you lose money, you will all know who the sport's monarch is," Canelo Alvarez said in a post. "I'm the new face of boxing," he said. "You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved." Paul is a professional boxer, but he hasn't yet competed at the championship level. His most notable loss was an 8-round split decision against Tommy Fury, the younger brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. "You stated that you would like to face Canelo Alvarez, but you haven't proven yourself yet. I'm predicting what will happen 3 more years from now, and I'll beat him because I have one of the best self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of, and I can give Canelo a serious run for his money with this new team." Although his fight with 58-year-old Mike Tyson last November caused controversy because of their 31-year age difference, the event was a huge commercial success, drawing large crowds and solidifying its status as the year's most watched boxing spectacle. Canelo, a fighter who has faced some of the sport's most renowned opponents and defeated them in multiple weight classes, including taking a life, would not typically be seen entering the ring with Paul. Canelo, the heavyweight world championship holder, is accustomed to high-stakes fights. A showdown between him and Crawford would match up 2 of the sport's biggest stars. Alvarez is a Mexican superstar who has held the title of undisputed super middleweight champion for many years. Even though Crawford has won several weight classes, he gives up a lot of size to Canelo for the title. Journey began his career at lightweight and went on to claim undisputed status at super lightweight and welterweight, where he defeated Israel Madreo in their eagerly awaited 147-pound bout. Last year, he advanced to super welterweight and defeated him handily. But Crawford wants to test himself against his best opponent, Alvarez, at a weight class higher than any he has ever competed at. Most fans view Canelo versus Crawford as little, more than a high-profile cash grab, and by the time the fight takes place, there's no other way to frame it, Crawford said. "I'm waiting on Canelo in September and going to shock the world in Riyadh season. If Crawford were to move up to 168 and defeat a few legitimate contenders to show that he's not just chasing a payday, a fight against Canelo wouldn't feel like a spectacle, but that isn't happening because he simply lacks the size and power to handle elite super middleweights. Crawford will be pushing 38, coming off a lackluster debut at 154 and jumping 2 weight classes to face Canelo at 168 in a 1-on-1 showdown. If Crawford loses to Canelo, it's unlikely that he would fight again unless he is given a rematch.
Please, brother, choose great fight because we are building for the big fight. Him and Crawford accept to fight in Saudi Arabia, the big fight. But we as a Riyadh season know how is big this fight and also how is important, especially in America. For that, we prefer to do it in Vegas. This is the only condition. Then, in the last 2 weeks, we start to hear the rumors about this fight. And in the last 48 hours, we heard it is close. Then it is not for our benefit because we are building the big fight against Crawford. We want him to fight, good fight, great fight in May.
Or is enticed back with a huge salary from Turkey to face one of the top 154-pounders. His most recent fight at 154 was a narrow victory, and he looked every bit his age throughout that fight. Turkey wants Canelo to win, but he views Canelo versus Crawford as the big fight. Taking on a good or great opponent may help set the scene. Turkey acknowledges that he didn't match the money Canelo would have made from a fight with Jake Paul, which makes sense. In fact, it wouldn't have been a good fight for Canelo if the payout had been higher. As they prepared for a major battle against Terence Crawford on September 13th, Turki Al-Sheikhs informed ESPN that they had asked Canelo Alvarez to select a formidable opponent for his fight in May. He said that both the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would undoubtedly be at the top of any boxing fan's wish list for 2025. Canelo and Crawford had agreed to fight in Saudi Arabia, but Riad's season realized how important the fight would be for American audiences, so they decided to hold it in Las Vegas instead. They also disclosed that they had heard about the possibility of Canelo fighting Jake Paul, which wasn't ideal for their plans because it could affect the build-up to the Crawford fight. Both fighters have demonstrated exceptional skill and domination by winning 4 weight divisions. Despite receiving a lot of criticism, Crawford in particular comes into the ring with an impeccable 4-10 record after methodically crushing his opponents and persistently testing his limitations. Even now, when 2 elite champions from separate divisions compete against one another, Alvarez is still considered one of the sport's finest and biggest celebrities. The inevitable reality of a clash is that one will enter the battle with a possible size disadvantage, which might be the decisive element between 2 elite athletes. This super battle is no exception. After establishing himself in the lightweight division, Joe Rogan is a little alarmed by the idea that Terence Crawford will be moving up 2 weight classes to secure this fight. However, he is poised to leap from junior middleweight to the super middleweight limit in a match that could solidify his legacy. Given Crawford's remarkable technical prowess and the intrigue created by his next opponent, a world-class boxer with light heavyweight experience, this will surely be a hot topic of conversation in the run-up to the fight. A recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience made the matchup even more intriguing. After speaking with Crawford on several podcast episodes, the UFC analyst and comic Brian Simpson emphasized the importance of size while generating excitement for the impending bout. Rogan is mostly worried about whether Canelo's physical advantage will be an impassable barrier. He said Terence Crawford has no qualms about jumping 2 weight classes because he has been pursuing a super fight with Canelo Alvarez for a while. I just hope he's big enough to keep that guy off him because Canelo strikes so hard. Alvarez is scheduled to return to the ring the weekend before Cinco de Mayo, with sources suggesting a May 3rd bout at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. However, His opponent has not yet been finalized. In this production, William Skull has emerged as the leading figure in rumors. There are no talks about Crawford getting one fight under his belt before his planned September matchup with Canelo. If he chooses to wait the agreed-upon time, Bud will have been out of the ring for more than a year before facing what is likely to be the hardest challenge of his career. But the extra time could help him adjust to the size difference. Expectedly, Canelo's size advantage will force Crawford to move up 2 weight divisions, as the fight takes place at 168 lbs. Despite this challenge, a former rival of both fighters, Amir Khan, is encouraging Bud to come out. Speaking to Ring Magazine, Victorious, KH stated, "I think Crawford can succeed, and I wish him the best." One of Terence Crawford's many strengths is his exceptional boxing IQ, which allows him to perceive everything you need in the game, from the ring IQ to movement, power, and speed. Crawford hits hard, but many people don't give him credit for his punching strength. He was punching me hard when we were in the ring together. While Terence "Bud" Crawford, 37, is still undefeated at 41, demonstrating his superiority with 31 knockout victories to his name, Canelo Alvarez has amassed a remarkable professional record. It was 62 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 draws, 39 of which have come via knockout. Khan said that Canelo would undoubtedly be the stronger fighter between the two, but Crawford has the strength to injure Canelo, push him back, and challenge him by standing directly in front of him. That concludes today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the bell icon, like, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our next videos.